So, what is ASMR?
ADSRM.
No, it's not that.
AMD. MDF.
Nope.
Yeah, that's recording. It's this audio orgasm in it. It's like foot fetish of the ears. Not that sounds wrong. That sounds like you're banging the ears. You're like on OnlyFans going here because look at yeah. ADS.
Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Yes, MR.
Is a relaxing, often sedative sensation that begins at the scalp and moves down the body, also known as a brain massage. It's triggered by placid sights and sounds such as whispers, accents, and
I didn't get that.
Nobody's ever explained that to me, like it's an actual thing before. The way you just explained that, I was like, am I going to have to start kicking the shit out of people who fancy sounds? Because that would be another one of the things where it's one of those fetishes that there's nothing wrong with it, but also stop that.
Aye.
I fancy cars. Right, okay, you're not hurting anyone, but stop that forever. I know it's not illegal, but it is now. I've seen you doing it.
I fell in love with a theme park ride.
Aye, bin straight away. Death
it.
penalty, no trial, the end.
So you were pouring a coffee right next to the mic when I was doing sound check, and I was like, oh fuck, he's doing it now. I mean, that just sounds class.
Like, not sound like piss?
A little bit, but now you put it like that.
Yeah, I mean...
because I knew it was coffee coming, I was a little bit more... That's like, you're going, who's cooking soup? And you're like, I've just farted. And you're like, damn, I enjoyed that smell.
Never once have I smelled someone's fart and thought it was some cooking that I was desperate to enjoy.
I was doing an example, not something that happened.
But an example of what? That's not...
An example of when I know it's coffee, that sounds good. But if you go, if you were like, listen to the sound of pouring coffee, I'd be like, that sounds gorgeous. Sounds mint. I really enjoy that. And then you're like, haha, psych, it's someone pissing. I'd be like, I probably shouldn't have enjoyed that as much as I did.
So this ASMR thing, it's that, because I do recognise that feeling, that description of that feeling of going for the head, but I don't know what in my life has ever done it for me.
I get it with them, them head tickler things.
Yeah, but that's what they do.
Is that the feeling you're meant to get off sound? The feeling that you get off one of them claw, as if you're going to get...
No,
as if you're a one-eyed teddy bear that's going to get chosen in Toy Story.
Do you never try... I think I get it sometimes when it's almost like a shiver runs down your back. Sometimes it's with a little bit of touch somewhere or if it's cold and you go, oh, like that. I think that's what it is. Apparently people get that from sound.
Right, so I don't, because when I was like, I've got
Maybe
that.
I've just not heard.
That's the same way Elliot Steele goes, I've got dyslexia. And you're like, no, you just can't spell.
Yeah, you just don't try or put any effort into it.
Other way, it seems to be really fashionable for people to announce themselves as on the spectrum of autism. That's what a spectrum is.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
That's exactly what a spectrum is.
Yeah.
However, anyway, I think we've unpacked that before. Where there's certain things where it's okay to go, I think I've got a bit of autism or something like that, and you can get people claiming to be
I'm part cripple.
I've
got a dead leg.
I'm a wee bit palsy.
Just a bit.
Semi-downs.
Just half of one. Yeah, half a extra chromosome. Is that what it is? Is it an extra one or is it a lesser one?
I'm not.
Yes, you do. You've been friends with a Downs person for ages.
I didn't realise biology.
Well, that's fair.
Do you think when I was putting him in nets because I thought he had thicker hands, right, I knew the biology?
No, I think you were just a horribly ignorant child. I can't think of any noise that would make me, because I know it's not a sexual thing. Clearly, it's not like they're it doesn't. The tingle doesn't go all the way down your spine and give you an erection or make you fucking super wet. I think it's just a nice, oh my god, my body had a response to that sound. But it's got to be an enjoyable noise. I can't even think of a noise that I would find so nice that I would...
Not even your fiance's breathing during sex. If she's if I had mouth near your ear and she's kissing your ear and she's heavy breathing because...
Well, yeah, but that is sexual.
Uh-huh.
But we're talking about noise.
But the noise, you're saying that noise adds nothing.
Nah.
No, the noise literally adds nothing.
Adds knowledge that she's alive. it adds knowledge that she's enjoying herself.
You should have already had that knowledge.
Aye. Well, yeah, but I've not looked at her for a while. You know, you're down there, you're passionate.
What about that, like, afterwards?
Oh, yeah, that.
Not like that one?
Yeah. Cara does that just from her mouth. She's just like, that was...
Oh, God. Jesus. I'm glad that's over. Me and Natalie still do the joke about how much time's passed. We've been doing it so long now. I was like, oh, fuck, golf lesson.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can go on to that in a minute. So non-sexual wise, is there any sounds or the idea or sounds that do that for you, give you that lovely feeling, or can you imagine like the perfect sound? Like for me,
that is up there. The one that we've just witnessed, the pouring of the coffee, has got like it's got qualities beyond its sound. Mm-hmm. Like the sense of anticipation and all that. Like it's.
I reckon I've not heard the sound. But I reckon the sound of an explosion from the House of Commons might make me go, oh.
You know, if I'm just doing the road at the end of the fuse.
I'm the new Guy Fawkes.
The sound of the fuse fizzling away into the distance just before the explosion.
It's a really long one from all the way up in Edinburgh. Like
take it from here.
Aye.
I had price of trains.
It was easier just to walk up with the fuse.
There's this thing on Twitter happening at the minute, and I know you're not on Twitter, right? But like, people are obviously fucking up in arms about the train systems in the UK because it's fucking like ridiculous price.
Are they?
You sometimes need to get like fucking 3 trains to get to a place. They're charging you fucking 200 quid.
Are they? Okay.
Right? And there was something like Manchester to London.
Yeah.
On the day was like 345 quid. And
that's mad.
Mark pointed out, and somebody suggested that he got a fucking flight to like Alicante and had a day there, and then get the flight back. It would be cheaper.
Aye, than actually just getting the train down to fucking Liverpool or
including the
Buxton.
hotel. Aye. So there's that. But in the nature of Twitter, that should just unify everybody, right? People that work for the train company, the punters, it should unify fucking everybody. That's a ridiculous price to get from Manchester to London.
I know, but Kai, there are people in Middle England.
But there's like there's a mad amount of people that are defending it. It's saying like, oh, you should maybe like book in advance by a week. You're like,
it's not.
Somebody made the point like, you know, imagine it was like 25 quid for a pint of milk unless you booked in advance a week later.
Aye.
Like, yeah, you could get it for the usual price, but what if you just happen to want milk? Like, and that's a poor system. It's a poor system if you can't just decide that you want to go somewhere or you want to do something or you want to buy something.
I mean, I'm trying to engage with you, but as somebody that fucking loathes all public transport, and has not been on a train for quite some time.
Would a taxi from Manchester to London be cheaper than 350 quid?
I mean, I would rather find that out than take a train.
You know what? I'm not with you in this camp. I think I'd rather be in my own company than in somebody's company when I travel.
What?
Like, I feel like
no. If I'm paying that much for a fucking taxi, you're not saying a word to me. That's part of the fucking fee.
Yeah, because you actually, because of the time it was, you had a Glasgow flight because the flights got real. We'll get on to Budapest in a second, but on the way to Budapest, your flight from Edinburgh got cancelled. You got put on my flight from Glasgow.
Yeah, Marlena was like, "Why don't you just go through and stay with Kai the night before?" I'm like, "Because I have a family.
I live in this house," and you're like, "I'm up at 3 anyway."
Aye.
For the nappy change or the feed or whatever you're doing. I'll just get up, I'll do the feed.
Get a taxi. Go through
there. Like, for me, that's quite a long taxi, because if it's an actual taxi, what if the guy chats to you?
He doesn't get it for that price.
That's a really long journey to be like making small talk at that time in the morning with a complete stranger.
But they do not get it for that price, and for that price, you're allowed to tell them.
You think you could just go
100%. 100%. If you are paying 3 digits for a fucking taxi, it's not rude to go, I'm not in the mood to talk today. Sorry.
Aye.
There's nothing rude about that. This is a long ass fucking. No way. You're getting 125 quid. You're not saying a word to me, please. In what world?
Aye, fair. And I think you can do that without looking like an asshole as well.
Man, that's why you go to certain. I mean, if you want to go black cab, take the fucking gamble with whoever's hobby this is on the fucking weekend.
So we went to Budapest, and even though we were just there overnight, I feel like we're crammed quite a bit in.
Well, because we got there early, and because we're now at a nice part of the tour where
it's been finished for months.
Yes,
but we've got ones to pick up.
Well, no. This how we're living now is how the tour is for the fucking rest of the time. There's nothing that will ever convince me.
You know what's insane? These gigs that we're doing now, like the one you've done in France, the one that we've just done in Budapest, the 4 or 5 you're about to do with Gareth over in Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, the whole Vienna, Germany stuff, right? That was somehow meant to be crammed in to the tour that was already too full.
No, it's fucking mental.
Isn't that insane?
Aye.
So anyway, that's been rearranged, which was fucking our saviour back then, the fact that it had to get rearranged because we were fucked. And they're just kind of scattered across spring.
Yeah, but it's the way fucking touring should be, which is occasionally I'll go away for a bit of a fucking weekend and then come back. It's manageable. You're in a good mood. You get to the fucking airport, somebody's in front of you, you're like, take your fucking time, doesn't matter, couldn't give a shit.
How much better spirits were we in just in the whole experience?
From start to fucking finish.
You know, like sometimes when you come out of arrivals, right, you've like collected your bag or whatever. Look, again, we didn't have to have full suitcase because we're just there for a brief period of time, right? So you can skip that bit already. That's a fucking, like a boring ass party a day gone. The checking in and picking up your bags. You go through and you don't have to do that whole like game face. This is just another day for us, but it's big for them. This promoter has been working really hard to put on this event. It's like this is their milestone that they've been working towards for us.
This has been in their diary for 18 months, and this has been in your brain since you got on the plane this morning.
And you just have to like not be a buzzkill for that, and you sometimes have to in arrivals just go right.
Just for the record, and I don't always. In fact, rarely do I nail it. If I'm in a bad mood, everyone will and should know.
I normally pick up the slack on that for you.
Aye.
I'll normally go in with a big smile and a handshake, and they're like, "Oh yeah."
I think it's sometimes important to show your misery, just so that people don't think that you're happy and that this is the standard to be set. You go, hey, this is good. I'm in a bad mood now, and I'm going to be in a bad mood until I'm not in a bad mood. And I didn't make myself in a bad mood here. The situation made me in a bad mood. So just take it out on the fucking world. Make it everyone else's problem. A problem shared is a problem halved.
It spreads like cancer.
Aye.
So I would just like we didn't need to do that whole fucking game face thing as well. Through arrivals. We're like already like excited.
Also,
to be there.
Budapest had already passed the test before. Like the last time we were there, it was a cool city. We enjoyed the gig. Yeah. It was.
And you'd actually booked a holiday with Cara to go to Budapest because you liked it so much and you wanted to show her. Because
Budapest is always it still blows my mind that it's Buda and Pest. There's two cities, Buda on one side of the river and Pest on the other side of the river. And when they first told me that, I'm like, do you think I'm stupid? Do you think I'm Kai? And you can just make up a lie like that, and I'll just fucking swallow that right on down. And they were like, no, we're in Pest just now, but your show's in Buda. Turns out that's 100% true.
Because it's either side of the Danube, isn't it? It's like the way the Tyne separates Newcastle and Gateshead.
Aye.
It's like
that'd be like
Gate Castle.
Alright, yeah. There's New and then
Castle Gate.
Aye. We did hear one of our, or at least my favourite historical stories. When we were driving from Pest to Buda or vice versa, there's a hill on one of the places, and there's a statue of a man. And we like to find out about the history of the places that we're in, and we'd like, I'll go, what's that building and what's that, and I find some stuff interesting.
And we had an actual driver for the trip, Christoph, who was like, he's part of the team.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're just like a local taxi driver that's just going to make small talk with.
Yeah.
And it was actually somebody who could actually
converse with. And he explained to us, I won't remember the guy's name, but if you're from Hungary, you'll know who we're talking about here. The statue is of early Christian man who basically came to Hungary to convert the Hungarians to Christianity.
Is he a saint, retrospectively?
Yeah, he's a saint now.
Yeah.
But the reason,
But he wasn't treated like one.
No. You're probably thinking, oh, did he cure a village, or did he successfully brought Christianity to Budapest and the Hungarians? Not exactly. They didn't convert. Instead, they were like, that, fuck you with your heathen talk. That's actually blasphemy from our end.
He committed the crime of baptizing someone.
Yeah. And being Christian in general. Look, I think history is awful, but if I could go back into time, into any part of time, it would be when you were allowed to throw stones at Christian. If there's any part of history that me personally could go back to, it's whatever time that we were feeding them to lions regularly. That would be fucking class. Right.
Now they just chin each other at the old firm.
I would really like to. I'd go back there, enjoy my time, but it's a new world. So I like hearing the history of back when people had more rights than we do now, which is to. So
the crime was being a Christian. Mm-hmm. The punishable crime that he got punished for was baptizing someone.
Yeah, trying to convert them, sneaky.
What was the punishment without trial? The just direct punishment, no trial.
They put him in a barrel full with nails and swords, put that barrel onto a cart and kicked it down a hill.
They played pop-up pirate with the cunt.
Oh, man. Allow me to teach you of the mercy of Jesus Christ. I'll fucking show you mercy. Give me the bucket of swords. Yeah, and the nails. We got another one of them. You know the guys with the crosses? Another one of them.
He's trying to get a kid into heaven.
Oh, get him gone.
He thinks of heaven and he's trying to get this person passage.
I don't even think he died all the like I think
he got out.
Yeah.
Like off Austin Powers.
Yeah. Oh, cuts everywhere. Not a death by 1,000 cuts, just lots of pain by 1,000 cuts, and he didn't die.
Septic. Some of the wounds got infected.
So they tried to do some brain surgery on him, but unfortunately they had a lack of medicine and/or knives or a willingness to do brain surgery. So they just.
We haven't got any knives. We're just surrounded by them, covered in blood.
Oh, there's nothing we can do. And then they just caved his head in with a skull. And you know what?
They did smash his head off a rock, didn't they?
That's how they finished him off.
It's so funny that he was
really
at the bottom of the leg. I was so sure that would kill him.
I know. Look, we're just gonna have to cave his head with a fucking rock.
Note to self: more swords. I'm gonna need more swords.
God, that's so funny, honey. Where are you off to? God came to me in a dream, and he said, "Spread my message, spread my love, and
spread my legs,
and go to this place called Hungary and bring them the word of my love." What time will you be back? I don't know. Month or two? How long does it take to convert someone to the love of Jesus Christ?
Yeah.
Couple of days?
It sounds like something you'd like to buy.
Yeah.
You know? People are in the business of a myth.
Yeah, honey, I'll be back in fucking 2 months. You know, I'll see you very, very soon. No. Oh, we probably didn't have a wife. He was a saint, wasn't he?
Aye.
Probably just fucked little boys.
That's what they did him for. I was baptising him. I'm sure that's not fucking holy water on his head. Fucking holy milk, that.
So I think later on in their history, Hungary eventually did get converted to Christianity. Probably when a later saint came, and they were like, this sounds familiar. And actually, you know what? Now that you've mentioned it again, this is good. He's like, oh yeah, great. I'm so glad you're all Christian now. Quick question. My mentor a couple of years ago came in this direction. Did you see him at all? Huh? Guy, big beard, came talking about the love of Jesus Christ. You didn't see him come through?
Yeah, he went that way. They both point different ways. He went that way. It leads to the same place, honestly. Just to follow it round. If you're going that way, loop right. If you're going that way, loop left. Fucking dumb. He's off to off to Russia.
We think.
Russia.
Tell you what, and he said he wasn't coming back. We'll make a statue of him. Just in case he does come back, which he might do because he's not dead. Why would he be dead? Who said he was dead? Now, do you have a likeness of his face? Because we caved it. I mean, we don't know what he looks like.
Yeah, we're actually gonna have to copy it off this stain on the rock.
Can somebody give me a stencil?
Did he look like this, sir? And there's just like a fucking lifelike red drawing of his face on the rock.
Bit of paper over and they rub the back of it. Is this? What are you? Yeah, those are his eyes. Oh, fuck, those are his actual eyes.
So he's dead.
Man, what a fun way to kill someone. Realistically. Look, I don't think. Look, I'm glad we live in a. Well, at least I'm glad I live in a society now where there is no death penalty. That you can't take somebody's life away from. I agree with that. But if I lived in a world or a place where you were allowed to kill people, do it fun.
This is what happened, right? They were like, right. Well, it's clearly we don't need to go to VAR. He's spreading the word of God in a country where
he's got the cross there. He's doing it.
It's punishable by death. That right. So we're up a hill, right? Let's have a look at what we've got here, right? We've got a barrel. We could stand him on the barrel and hang him, and then kick the barrel away.
Yeah, or we could all piss in the barrel, and then we could drown him in the barrel, and then he'd drown in piss. That might be a good way to go. We got swords. I guess we could chop his head off, or we could chop his legs off and just watch him bleed to death for a bit. What? Somebody put someone in his mouth, would you? Tell you what, put him in the barrel just to shut him up for a bit.
Shut him up for a bit.
Just nail it shut. How many nails you got? No.
Right, keep 12 back to shut it. Put the rest in with him.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
Imagine they put so many nails and so many swords in the barrel, it actually didn't leave enough room for movement, and that's how he survived it. He was like, if they put nothing in, he would have just rattled around the barrel and
he was just flat packed. They came to the other end, completely unscarred. They're like, he's a witch! Cave his head in! Cave his fucking head in! He can't. How the fuck did he survive? Maybe that's why they did convert to Christianity afterwards. They just got so freaked out. They killed him instantly, and they're like, okay, he's dead. God, maybe that was the power of Christ. What more proof do you need? We threw him down a fucking hill in a barrel of swords and nails.
He was a mortal dude.
What did we do? We killed like Jesus and built him a statue. Built him a fucking statue. Yes, on the hill we killed him on. No, he won't find it offensive. He went around wearing a cross. That's how Jesus died. They like being honoured in the way they were murdered. I don't know. It's like a weird thing for them.
Fuck, we're gonna need another barrel and some more swords for the statue.
Aye.
So that I don't know. I'm just gonna give this a twiddle.
Oh, he's talking about his cock. For those of you not watching on the video, he has his penis out and is pointing at it and just. Also, like if you have never watched the videos of this podcast, because
you listen to it when you're doing stuff.
I would like to know how much glee was in my face even before we were in the bit of just talking about. Such a funny way to kill someone. Can you imagine? Like, I always laugh at that, like shit like that. Cause the one we spoke about a while ago, that cunt that went to the North Sentinelese Island, right? You know that fucking island?
Oh yeah, he went to spread the word of God.
He went to spread the word of God and he got peppered with fucking arrows.
Did people not learn?
Oh God!
If somebody doesn't want God, don't go there with God.
It's all, man. God's the whole thing is he's omnipotent. He's everywhere.
They're like, another God guy. Yeah, so they, for people that didn't know, the Centennial Islands?
Yes.
Which are west of India and kind of east of Indonesia.
But like the Indian government, all the other governments around are like, don't go to these islands, don't fuck with them, right? They're indigenous people, we don't bother them. They're fine, they're happy in their own things.
You know how we were talking about in the middle of Loch Lomond, there's an island of wallabies?
Yes.
Right? It's like there's an island of prehistoric people.
Yeah. And they love more than whatever it is they love normally, which I imagine is a diet of root vegetables and wildlife.
Yeah.
They love using Christians as pincushions. and there's a very low supply of Christians on the island, but thankfully.
So one like made his way over there to try and preach Jesus to this just like just indigenous people that have like been unmolested by the Western world thus far, which there's not much of that left on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Right?
And which is why he was there, because he was like, Dibs. It's like you gotta, you're touching the last bit of untouched snow. You're like, okay, hey, and this is the name of Jesus Christ. Okay, I got him. Big man. And in his head, when he eventually dies, 50 years down the like, God and Jesus are there, they'll be like, dude, you're the guy that got the Sentinelese guys into man. Do you know how many of my fucking kids I had to send down there and just kill? But you. Thanks for getting them in. I cannot tell you how angry Buddha is. He is fucking raging mad. He thought, right? All the old gods, they were like, surely they're going to worship us, but you, with your little fucking canoe, come on in here, come on.
And then after he got sprayed with arrows, that's how they got him. They've figured out bow and arrows these days.
Aye. Yeah. And Christians haven't figured out canoes.
And do you reckon there's going to be another guy comes up going, excuse me, have you seen my friend? Did he pass through here? And he's sending these guys are both pointing in separate directions.
We can build a statue of him.
So maybe we should do that when Jehovah's Witnesses come. When you don't have a mind to speak about the Lord, you just like murder them in some crazy way.
Yep, dead. So, what happened? I
honestly, it's a visceral reaction. People try to bring God into my life and I murder them.
What? It doesn't even have to be a religious thing. Next time any fucking politician drops a flyer through my fucking door.
Oh, it's happening a lot at the minute. There's an election in Scotland.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It's like local council ones or something. There's a fucking car driving around my street with a loudspeaker. I was like, well, not him.
Aye, yeah, you're a fucking knob.
Absolutely not that guy. Fucking the obnoxious prick. We need one more of them in politics. So there's fucking somebody going around just blasting stuff out, and I'm like, the only way that would work is if that was if that was your opposition and you did your car up to be like, vote me opposition guy, and then fucking drove around the leafy suburb being a wanker.
Yeah, I would vote for the guy following him in a car going, this guy's a cunt, this guy's a cunt. I wouldn't need to know any of his policies. I'd be like, well, not that guy.
Funnily enough, a kid on a bike cycled around the estate playing drum and bass, and I like to think it was in retaliation to that guy. Because I was putting the bins out, and I was just like, what the fuck's that? And I come around, it was this fucking kid. He looked a bit like, remember how Biebs looked when he was younger? Like Biebs.
Unfucking believable. Unfucking believable.
Oh, is that why we're called a Biebs?
Jesus fucking Christ.
I see what I did.
Aye, do you?
Uh-huh.
Aye. And do you still have any qualms about being Natalie thinking you're thick?
I do. Because that's like honest you pick me up on honest mistakes and then accuse me of like absolute cartoonish
what was the one in Hungary, right? So we're out in Budapest. The gigs were great, right? Thank you very much to everyone.
It was so worth the wait. We've rescheduled that gig like 3 times or something since 2020.
Aye.
And everyone still came, so thank you to everybody that was patient with it.
Aye, thank you to the Israeli that came all the way up with some marijuana for us and was like, when are you going to do a gig in Israel? And I give the answer I always gig, and I'm like, the day I can do a gig in Palestine. It's got to be both. I'm not going to learn what's going on there, so what I'll do is I'll just go straight down the middle and go la 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 la. And
that's why you did one in Russia, and you now have to do one in the Ukraine.
Yeah.
Like, because that was before it all kicked off, but like it was brewing.
Yeah. But it feels, I feel like a dick. I'm like, okay, it does seem like I pick sides. So we went out drinking afterwards because it's a great drinking city.
Yep.
Budapest.
So we're always. It's the second time we went, and we've went both times. This place called Simpler, and it's all graffiti and fucking weird.
It's like it's like an old abandoned building, and then
Feels like an old like jail or something, because there's just loads of little side rooms and everything.
Yeah, but but also feels kind of like the hotel lobbies where you can all look down into the middle sort of thing. I don't know what the building used to be. If we paid more attention, and if we were less drunk there, I'm sure we'd
That's what I was thinking. It was like a jail, because that middle bit's like, where everyone's like hanging over the back. When a cop gets arrested and puts into the jail and they're all high and toilet rolling him and that as he gets fucked.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
I smell bacon in this motherfucker.
Whatever it is, it's a fucking class place to drink. And then we went to some other places. We ended up getting...
we went to an authentic gypsy place.
We did.
Which had like there's music playing.
Yeah, but like one guy had a double bass, and the other guy had half of.
Was it not like a foosball table type?
It was
instrument?
it was like somebody cut the top off a piano and then cut it in half as well.
And then you hit the strings of the piano with like xylophone things.
It was a weird instrument I've never seen, and they were playing. Gypsy music. They were playing gypsy music. They were gypsy musicians, and then they were like, "Do you want to get some food?" And we're like, "Oh, we could eat."
Oh, that was so funny.
And then
the
old woman
she was amazing.
She was amazing, but when we first saw her, I was like, if you'd never taken me to Hungary before, and you were to ask me, what does a 65-year-old Hungarian woman look like? I would have drawn a picture of this woman exactly. Mm-hmm. It would have just been a small, hunched woman, right, with like little bubbles, like little spots, not heaps, not like warts, not witch-like, but like little boils, yeah, and whatnot, and just like that sort of, what's the fucking...
Like a thatched cottage?
Yeah, no, like they just having a bandana around their hair and stuff, and like and like all of their clothes are just lots and lots of layers.
Handcrafted as well. Like all of our clothes were handcrafted, it seemed.
Aye, and feels like if I were to do anything, she'd like hit me with a stick.
Yeah.
Like that's...
And you would absolutely accept that.
Yeah. I'd be like, I must be in the wrong place. I must have done the wrong thing. She was there.
So we, I think it might have panned out differently to what I thought was happening, because I was pretty high. Yeah. And it was such a very unique, strange place to be high in, so I was fucking losing my mind in there. Yeah. But they were speaking in Hungarian, because you were a bit hungry, right? And there was a bit... That's so weak.
I didn't... You said it. You're the one that didn't realise.
They should definitely have a gay bar called Hungarian for Cock.
Oh, they should.
And so anyway, we're in this place, and you're asking if they serve food here, right? But it just does feel like a living room, right? And she spoke in Hungarian, and she got back and she goes, she could make you some stew.
Yeah, like, some traditional Hungarian ratatouille. We were like, oh my God, I mean...
Like, we can make you some stew, and you're like, oh, don't just make something on my account. Like, if they're serving food, I'll have food, but like, don't just like leave the bar and go into the kitchen of your house and make us a stew.
But that is what she did. She went around the bar, passed us in her kitchen, they just came out with the pot and started showing us it, and we're like... No, we don't want to eat your food. And they're like, no, this is the restaurant.
Because that's where I was confused. I thought she'd made that for her family and she went and got it out of her own kitchen.
No, it was just a real traditional, literal underground Hungarian gypsy place.
It must have just been the wine cellar to our house or something.
Well, I think it was a wine cellar historically, and then she bought it, and then because we were asking who that picture on the wall was.
That was a massive picture of Hungarian Elvis, wasn't it?
Yeah, and we were like, who's Hungarian Elvis? And it was her dad, and she'd named the bar after him because he was a gypsy musician and had emigrated to Hungary and then started a life, and then and he loved all the music, so she started this place in memory. It was great, essentially. It was exactly what we like when we go to new places.
So they were there. Our promoters out there were like, look, I know you want to go to Simpler, but for us, that's just where the British people go. Yeah. For point of reference, if anybody knows in Ireland, Temple Bar. That's the answer, Temple Bar. People from America come over, they're going to go to Temple Bar in Dublin, they're going to go to Simpler in Hungary, right? But the Hungarian people want to show you a bit more authenticity, so they were like, look, we'll go to Simpler, that's where you want to go, it's cool as fuck, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But let's take you here as well.
And we got both, and then afterwards we went to, I think it was just a bit more of a student-y place, and We were obviously smoking a bit.
Yeah, because that was like an outdoor, like a festival area. It looked like it was a pop-up area that's not there all year round, but it pops up when the sun's shining.
And we've had a good show, and we're not stressed because we're not travelling all the time, so we've got energy.
And somebody brought us weed, so we're high as fuck.
And we're drinking, and obviously, like, one of the promoters we have out there has just had her second child. Obviously, me and her were swapping several stories about parenting and kids and stuff, and then we start talking about, plenty of other stuff, and then you obviously start talking about fucking Peggy, as you do.
Because a dog ran into the bar.
Yeah. It came in, and they were like, do you like dogs?
And I topped up my cup every time. I do that when I'm away from Peggy now, is I'll feel the love off someone else's dog. Like, I honestly don't mind cheating on my dog with other dogs.
Yeah. So I don't think your dog cares.
No, she's a slut.
She sounds aye.
She cheats on me with other humans all the time.
Yeah. It's a very open relationship.
Aye.
Then there was one bit where you were just showing pictures. So I'm talking to Veronica about kids, and you're talking to Gabor about your dog, and then one of our other friends leans over. He's like, oh, you just swapping stories. I'm like, oh, yeah, this happens every time. Anytime I mention Caelan or talk about my son, Kai will come in and start talking about his dog, and we all laugh because that's a funny thing to say. And then, like,
I get so paranoid.
10, 15 minutes later, while everyone else is talking, you take me, not aside, but like aside the conversation. I don't actually try and top your Caelan stories with Peggy stories, do I?
And I was like, because man, I often go to talk about Peggy instinctively when you talk about Caelan, but I stop myself because I know that's exactly what it is. Like you go, oh, Caelan smiled for the first time the other day. I'm like, fucking, Peggy picked up her own poo. Just try and store it in her mouth.
Yeah. I'm like, that's not a good thing. Can you stop comparing my son's shit-eating grin to your dog's shit-eating? It's not compatible.
I just want to put this on record. Peggy's never ate any shit, but it was a funny thing.
She's never ate it, but she's had it in her mouth. Just roll it around like a cigar.
And I don't inhale. So I just got paranoid. I was like, because I really fucking like make a conscious effort to stop myself of not bringing up Peggy if you're talking about Caelan because it's not comparable. Yeah. So like if I do go, oh yeah, and Peggy's done this, like I'm like, I didn't say that. So I have actually filtered myself from doing that. And then I was like, I've one or two slipped the net. It's so funny. Oh, another really stoned thing happened as well. People get you to sign shit after the show, usually a book, sometimes a poster, right?
Sometimes they're tits.
Sometimes they're tits, right? But every now and again, you get people who clearly weren't at the show, but they maybe have a shop that sells autographs, or they're just trading autographs or something like that, right?
And also, man, you just get autograph hunters, and these are people who
collect them.
Yeah, and what if you've never experienced it before,
they're super clinical the way they do it.
Yeah,
it's not like oh my god, nice to meet you, fucking pleasure about the show.
They come with a fucking file of like gloss paper images, high quality images of you through several stages of your career. Like there was one time in an American airport where I was just sitting down. I can't remember where we were on our way to, but I was just fucking sat there, and a guy came over and recognised me, knew I was going to be at the airport, and just had 50 photos to sign. So I don't mind it. Look, if I'm not fucking busy all the time, and I like occasionally dropping back into the world of, oh, I'm a celebrity. Oh, people are asking for autographs. This is nice.
For me, they either feel like professionals or hobbyists, and both things are like, they're just cool little things that they're pursuing.
Yeah, and they're not aggressive. It's just, don't be wrong, sometimes they'll come with a stack of photos and you go, mate, be reasonable. Like, come on, I'm not signing 50 things.
Sometimes, like on this occasion, they'll come with a guy who's got like a professional camera, and they'll get like photographs of you signing it to like authenticate the signature.
Yeah. But to be fair to these guys in Hungary, they were at the show.
Oh, they were?
Yeah, they were at the show.
Cool, because I
just never know how these people know where I'm going to be.
They met at the hotel lobby.
Yeah.
After the show, and that can only be because I did anyway. Instagram the hotel lobby.
Aye.
So I could do me fucking Dobby the first class business self, fucking running bit that I'm milking as long as masks laugh. So the only reason I think he could know that you were there was because we put it on socials.
Yeah.
But he took a punt because he didn't know you were going back immediately after the show.
It was correct. We were there. So
because we could have just went straight out. He could have been there all night, but he was there.
Aye.
Right, and he brings this photo, and it's the one where you've got you look like Biebs. Right? You got your long floppy hair, and it's the one with the shadow of a jester hat in the background.
Oh yeah, it was
right?
the poster for the Joker, so it must have been my fucking third Fringe show.
So you must have been like 19 years old. So you're like 32 years old now, signing a picture when you're 19, right? And I take a picture of you signing a photograph for these guys, and the photograph's you at the age of 12. And I sent it into a
WhatsApp group.
A WhatsApp group where they're in the middle of talking their way through the Tyson Fury fight. They're all watching the Tyson Fury fight. And I just dive in with that, and everyone's just like, congratulations to Daniel, I guess. Thanks. What's this, right? Yeah. What are you doing? I was like, oh, just a picture that the fan chose to use to like sign this. And they were like, okay. And they just didn't say it funny. I'm high as fuck, and I'm laughing my tits off that they're getting you to sign that, right? So I try to drill home the bit, right?
No, you?
And all right. I actually drilled home the bit, right? I got pictures of practically because I was getting pictures of like Colin and Gareth and Mark Nelson and Elliot, just from not even press shots from when they started comedy, but just the oldest pictures of them I could find, or pictures of them in compromising situations. And I was like, here, Elliot, sign this. Here, Gareth, sign this. And I was in fucking bits because it was funny.
Making yourself laugh. Someone's got to.
And in the middle of this, we ended up having a fucking jump around in a lift with a couple that didn't want to be any part of it. While I'm texting this thing, right? I'm already distracted.
Just for context, we got to an elevator, and for some reason, with this other couple, every time we pressed the floor button, the doors would close, nothing would happen, the doors would fucking open, and I'm like, I've used loads of elevators, so there's no way I'm fucking this up. They pressed the button, it didn't happen. You pressed the button.
All the while, I'm actually quite oblivious because I'm finding fucking pictures from the archives of me iPhotos.
And then I think it was eventually the woman lead pressed it really fucking hard. The doors closed, and the lift started moving, and the guy just sort of went, hey, I was baked, and I was like, I'll fully join in. And I was like, yes! High five in the bed.
I'm joining in with high fives and all that. And they went along with it, but only because they were sweet.
Yeah, only because they weren't enjoying it as much as we were, because they weren't.
Right, so this is the life I'm in the middle of living, right? I'm really high, we're buzzing, I've just been laughing my fucking head off at the photo he's signing. I'm trying to get me boys in on it, right? Because I find it funny. And I'm like, surely they also find it funny. I'm going to overcommit to this bit, right? And then Elliot went, oh my God, he's over texting, right? And I was like, ugh, I am. Guilty.
I've triple text. There's actually been 3 bits I've done where nobody's replied. And I can see it's my colour. And in a group of 12 people, there should always be breaks.
And they're still like trying to watch the fight.
Aye.
Like one of the messages were like, we're watching a fight here, Kai. Right? And then it was like, oh my God, he's over texting. And I was like, I am over texting. I just bumped it with a few laughs, right? I was like, I'm not going to.
Yeah, I'm not going to deny it, but like, no, I'm not. Because then that would also be.
Yeah, so then I put my phone in my pocket, went and sorted my shit out and come downstairs. And luckily for me, it had caught on. Somebody had done it, didn't catch on. Somebody humoured me by joining in, found a funny picture of Matty or something, right? And fucking sent the picture again, will you sign this, right? I was like, oh you darling, right? And then Elliot just wrote what on me laugh emojis after he called us out for over texting. And I looked at the message and it went, he's overextending. He was tired about the fight. He's tired about Tyson Fury's punches. I was like, he got us there. I am over texting really there. Such a dork.
Yeah, so not only is it verbal communication on a train you can't do, but the written down language of text.
Man. I was swinging and missing like a motherfucker that night too.
Speaking of swinging and missing, how did your golf lesson go this morning?
No, it's tonight.
Oh, 8:00 at night? Oh.
Aye. That's why it was a funny joke that I went and missed my golf lesson in the middle after shacking.
Oh, right, okay.
It was at 8 at night.
Oh. So you've got your first golf lesson?
I generally just would have missed it if it was 8 in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got my first one tonight.
At 8 p.m? Mm-hmm. There you go. So I'm imagining
it might be indoors because they've got like state-of-the-art facilities.
Oh, right. So the fucking you hit it into a big cloth and a camera captures the movement and goes, this is where the ball's gone.
Perhaps, and they have got like a little pitch and putt outside, and they did say bring a what?
A driving range?
I don't know if they do have a driving range. I didn't see one, but I saw like a kind of little pitch and putt on the way in. So the tell us like, there's no dress code. You don't need any clubs, right? We'll sort you all out. But do be prepared for the weather. So some of it might be on the pitch and putt if it's still daylight. Fuck knows. That might just be the fucking generic thing that they send out when it's summer.
Okay.
Or for like the earlier ones. So I honestly don't know what it's going to be.
Well, see, because I was going to say, in that case, we'll just talk about it on the Patreon episode, but we're doing the Patreon episode after this one because I'm away on Thursday.
So we're doing it today as well. Right, sweet, fair enough.
I'm off to do the Have a Word podcast on Thursday.
Nice. Class.
Because I've got to promote.
They've just hit 13,000 patrons.
Aye.
That's fucking remarkable.
It's very, very impressive.
My goal on this is to reach 1,000, and I'd be chuffed with that.
Aye.
So that's
Where are we?
Well, like we keep hitting 600 and then like dropping down a little bit when it exchanges. So
that's fair.
We're treading water at 600 now, but I'm like, I mean, that's more than I expected when we started.
I am. I'm not involved. I'm just here, and happy for whoever puts in the time of. Are you falling for any of this? Does this come across as sincere? No. Okay, fair enough.
So back to Hungary.
Mm-hmm.
The next day. Wake up. Hangover's not as bad as it could be, considering we're drinking fucking whiskey and smoking weed and shit, right? We went to the baths.
We did. Not Turkish baths.
The Hungarian baths.
But they weren't. Even, like, historically, I don't think at any point they were Turkish baths either. I think that's...
Well, do you know Turkish baths, like... I think I've got this right. I've had a Turkish bath before in Antalya.
In what?
In Turkey.
Right.
And it was like... You kind of lie down on this fucking slab of marble and a dude like covers you in foam and fucking exfoliates you with a glove and shit. Like, it's like somebody baths you. It's like a massage. It's like a massage / exfoliation / wash. So when somebody says a Turkish bath, it's not like it's not a bath.
But I'm pretty sure there's Turkish bath houses.
It's like a treatment. You obviously have to go there to get it done.
But it's not like what the Hungarian baths were, which is several different pools.
Literally like a kind of fucking Roman bathhouse.
Aye. There's a big, long pool in the middle, and then off in some corridors either side, there's like one pool that's 36 degrees, one pool that's 40 degrees.
And people just hang out with their mates and bath water.
Just go, do you want to go down to the baths where everyone else is?
It's like a super duper sized still hot tub.
Yep. And you just, I mean, you'd never get anything like it in this country.
Nah, because because
we'd ruin it.
Brits would spoil it.
We would ruin it.
Yeah, it would be like boozy.
You'd get pished, people would fucking spew in it. People would fucking
get
into fights
would break out.
In it.
Are you looking at me bird?
Oh, aye. Horrible tattooed cunts, just like us.
Yeah, so it's just it's just where grown-ups can to just hang out in the bath.
Sweat a hangover out, talk to each other. They've got little ice dunking pools. I was addicted to that.
Yeah, the cold plunge. I actually I've taken it upon myself to have one of them every day now.
And ice plunge.
I really enjoyed the because it's shite, right? You get in the cold plunge and it fucking goes for you. But you know what's bad about it? You start wanting to make embarrassing noises. I wouldn't mind in the privacy of my own home, right? But in a public area, I don't want to be doing that, right? So you're just fucking stepping into it with like fucking stone cold stoicism. Just like,
fucking
I'm fine with this, me.
20 years of toxic masculinity absolutely paying off as you walk in stone faced. I feel nothing.
I know this.
I'm the Terminator going into lava. See if I give a shit. Thumb down.
This is quite warm, this. And then you hoist some ice in. Fucking hell, the while you just want to be like,
that was absolutely me. The second I saw other lads going in, I'm like, however long you're in, I'm doubling it. Just why? Because
so for what you go through for the initial fucking bowels going up inside your pelvis, and fucking all your like air leaving your lungs, and then you come back out and you can hear metal. You're about to pass out.
Yeah.
Right? For all that, how invigorated you feel afterwards is legit.
Aye.
It's
And then also, you confuse the fuck out of your body by immediately going in the 40-degree pool, and your skin's like, what?
It's either scalding hot or ice cold. I
Yeah,
can't
hold
tell.
on, hold on. You're in a lot of trouble either way. Let me just warm. It's just warm. Sorry. Sorry, I scared you.
Sorry for just making everything prickly for a second. Yes. I didn't know what to do. It's like,
enjoy 45 seconds of pins and needles. Full body. Sorry, my bad.
So, this morning I got up and went for a run first thing, straight to bed, went for a run, and then got in and turned the shower on and just let it run. You know, when it runs cold and then gets hot. I was just like, just fucking tough it out until it gets hot. And I was in such better form for Natalie over breakfast because I'm shit crack in the morning.
Aye.
Like, I'll get out of bed because Natalie's on like this Joe Wicks plan, right, where she'll do a workout and then she'll start making whatever is on the Joe Wicks plan for breakfast, right? And in the past, I've just stayed up all night on PlayStation, let her get on with it, and I'll just see her later that day. I'll have a lie in, right? But I'm just going to try and get on the same sleeping pattern as Natalie, going to bed at the same time, get up at a similar time. She gets up for a workout, but I just get up for breakfast. And she is so fucking chatty because she's been up for ages and she's had a workout, and she's like planning me day for us, and I'm like, I don't want to make any plans.
Shut up! This is £100 taxi. Shut your fucking mouth.
I'm like, I don't want to make plans. Like, I really like the idea of just having a coffee, coming to terms with the day, and then just figuring it out from there. Yeah, all of a sudden, but she's in a marriage and she's having a conversation with her husband, and I'm a teenager having a conversation with his ma.
Aye.
It's like, it's a weird.
How's school? Fine.
Aye, fine, man. Ugh.
Do you have any nice dreams?
And I'm really shit crack, and I feel it, and none of it's her. She's just being sound as fuck, and like making me breakfast, and I'm getting up and just like, leave me alone. So this morning I get up, I goes for a run. I fucking had me ice shower, and I started cracking on with the breakfast because I'm in the kitchen before her at this point, and I was such better crack, and I'm like, oh. What a better way to start the day, as much as it takes like the initial...
It sucks so much, because you know how everyone's on that fucking... Who's that weird Norwegian? Wim Hof?
Wim Hof,
Is he Norwegian? Is he Finnish? He's one of them.
He's got to be. Scandinavian, yeah, for sure. I'd put my life on it.
Wim Hof, if you don't know who this is. I tried his app thing for a bit, and then they was like, give me money. And I was like, I'm not doing that, you sneaky Finnish fuck.
Yeah, that's how that fucking Sam... What's he called again?
Sam Harris.
That's how Sam Harris did it.
Oh, fucking con artist. So Wim Hof is like it's all about like cold water therapy and about hyperventilating to increase your lung capacity, to get your blood in your body oxidized, to give you a natural high during the day, and blah blah blah, pseudoscience. Worked for me when I did it, made me feel a lot better. I mean, I don't do it now, and that's because I'm fucking lazy. And I think because they slowly train you to take like longer and longer cold showers, and like for the first 2 weeks you're like, man, when you get to like doing a 90-second cold shower and you're like, it's fine, I'm a fucking king of this is good. And then one day you have a warm shower and you're like, oh, infinitely better.
Oh,
yeah.
So do you, hold on, is he saying just have the cold shower?
Eventually he does. Yeah. I mean, there's his thing. I think he's got like a fucking TV show out on Channel 4 soon, which is just the standard fucking, we're going to get celebrities to do the thing that you've just said, and that's the show, and we're going to pretend that it takes...
Are they doing a fucking TV show about the Ice Bucket Challenge?
No, but I think they're doing it to go under like actual frozen water in fucking Finland or wherever.
I don't need to watch that. Like,
do you need to watch anything on fucking Channel 4?
Channel 4's alright, isn't it?
Name 5 shows you enjoy.
Panorama.
Is that still there?
I think so, I haven't really watched it regularly. I don't enjoy it that much, but when I have done it, I'm like, oh, this is some real cutting journalism.
Oh, okay. 1.
Friends.
E4, but sure.
And also every channel everywhere all the time.
Yeah. Aye. No, I think that's all television made between the hours, or made to be televised between the hours of 8 and 9 p.m. on British television are not for us. They're just not made for us. They're made for those fucking low breeds.
The Muggles. Oh, what's my scheduled dose of TV going to be at this specific time? I see as I tune in at 12:30 for the match.
Yeah. Listen to my Monday morning podcast every Monday. We've all got our things.
I'm also a muggle, is what I'm saying.
But not as much as... Well, anyway, if you want to try the Wim Hof thing, the breathing shit is dead interesting because it's just... Look, he can talk to you about the science of it. You're just in and out, holding your breath, and you get a fucking head high. And it's a good head high. But it's... I don't say... It's just a more natural version of huff and paint, really. It's just it's starving the amount of oxygen that goes to your fucking brain so that you go, oh, like that.
Did you ever used to do that thing where you like kind of bend double at the hips and hyperventilate? This is in school.
Oh, and then you fucking pass out.
And then somebody like pushes their hands against your chest and you fucking pass out on the floor.
Oh, I didn't do it. I was never into passing out.
That was... Kids shouldn't be doing that.
My friend...
I don't know why I was doing that at the age of fucking 12, like.
My friend Mark learned how to... he'd learned how to do the sleeper hold, and that was just a thing that... It was like, people come up and be like, you do the sleeper hold on me? It's your playground even. And he'd go, yep. Straight in, and they would just collapse to the floor. We'd all laugh.
now that pure kinky adults. That kind of jack off with a belt.
Yeah. And some kids strangling them.
And your WWE belt. Because of the sleeper hold.
No, I'm not into being unconscious unless it's sleep. Only consensual unconsciousness for me.
Have you never been KO'd?
I
got knocked out by the sea.
Aye.
I was definitely on my feet when I went there and I smashed the car window with my head.
Yeah.
Because there was a woman pressing a tea towel against me bloody ear. And I looked at her in the eyes and went, has it been Christmas yet? And it was the 27th of December.
And so, yes.
So I was awake, but like, how was I really?
Yeah. Why were you suddenly Ebenezer Scrooge? You fucking get knocked out of the sea and you come and wake up in the back of an ambulance. You there, boy? Go buy a turkey for Tiny Tim.
What day is this? The day after Boxing Day doesn't even have a name.
No. Oh, so we're deep in the gooch, are we?
Yeah. Turkey sandwiches it is then. Damn it. Did I get anything nice?
Yeah,
you got that car.
Oh, it was the car.
Hope you've got the receipt. But I got knocked out by the sea. I woke up in the ambulance there.
No, I've never been medically knocked out either.
Oh no, you've never been on anaesthetic?
No.
I went on anaesthetic to get my eyeball taken out.
Ew.
They'd done squint surgery. And apparently my eyeball was resting on my cheek while they were cutting the muscle.
Aye, that's all.
It's
all fucking gross. I
really wanted them to take a photo of that, and they wouldn't.
Blah. Oh, nah, no. Not even for future doctors to learn. Gross, no.
Yeah, but you don't want to see a photo of yourself with your eyeball hanging
Not
out.
even fucking remotely.
Because
not even a drawing of it. I've got no curiosity as to what that looks like.
I honestly think you should probably live your whole life and keep your eyeballs in.
Right?
but the one time you have it out, you want a photo of that, like.
Nah.
I
would fucking sue that hot. If I fucking I would rather there was fucking revenge porn of me out there than a fucking video of my eyeball lying on my own face. I'd rather know hundreds of millions of people would watch me fucking wank myself silly than there'd just be another fuckable hole in my head.
Put it on your Tinder profile. I've only got eyes for you.
Nah. Absolutely not. I like the idea of being unconscious medically just because, well, one, I'm an absolute coward when it comes to any types of pain or discomfort. I'm like, put me fully asleep. But I think I'd be dead. I love painkillers. Like, weed's my painkiller and I'm on that most of the time. I reckon if I had morphine.
I don't think I've had morphine before. Nah.
Cara has, says it's class.
Is it good?
I bet it is.
Got it.
They give it to dying cunts in the war. It's got to be great. That's just like them going there and being like, dose of heroin, just enjoy it for a couple of seconds. Like that fucking scene when Phoebe's brother dies in Saving Private Ryan.
Phoebe's brother?
Well, that's who he plays in Friends.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's a Scientologist now.
I was like, was Lisa Kudrow in? Because I know Ross was in Band of Brothers.
Yeah, and that was the same war, so it would make sense that they were.
They're the Immortals.
Yeah. No. All
Eternals.
All World War II movies are set in the same universe. It's like the Marvel universe. They don't have to be the same directors. All of them are.
I don't like World War II movies because it's always just white men.
That was a genuine fucking opinion I saw. That's been genuinely like, I can't remember who it was, but it was a while ago in Sweden. It was a fucking comedian as well, and they were like, we stopped making World War I and II movies, right? I think we've celebrated white men enough. Which, look, in a longer conversation, right, with all the nuance of that, I can understand where that opinion is formed from. I can see where you're... But... shut the fuck up forever and ever and ever. And what are you talking? The greatest generation that sacrificed. Teenagers fucking died in war. Let's make movies about the heroes.
We touched on this in Muff. We shot a war movie using only BM actors.
Yeah.
We had a brown Hitler.
We did.
I know it was Samuel L. Jackson, but
Jackson.
obviously couldn't get him, so we just had to do his voice.
Spoiler alert.
Right, we're gonna hit stop on this podcast
and then do a Patreon
and then see you in 4 days or 3 seconds.